What is up, everybody? It's your boy Doody, back again with another video, and this time we're taking a look at our boy DSP daily rap video after a day of weirdness. That's right, and our boy continues to attack strangely Lexi for some reason. That's right. If you didn't watch any of my content yesterday, you would have missed the post last night from apparently our boy was mocking our girl Alexis because apparently Phil doesn't believe that she is gay or bisexual or whatever her orientation is. It's a little strange that a 42-year-old man, a geezer, is concerned about someone's sexuality, but, you know, and of course, from someone that has zero sexuality himself. But I digress. Anyway, let's see what Phil had to say on the Daily Wrap.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Daily Wrap for what was Monday, the 3rd of March, 2025. A weird day, but a fun day, and a wacky day, but a productive day, to say the least. So let's talk all about it. We started off today with a level 1 podcast that discussed various topics, but in general was much more laid back, much more calm, much more cool than yesterday. There was no drama to discuss. Instead, it was just talking about what we had done the day before. There was some good Q&A, and it ended up being a decent length. Not bad at all, I would say. And then for the first major gameplay stream of the day, we did Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. And the good news was I announced to everyone, hey, if you're someone who's been holding off because you heard the intro of the game is so long and you want to come by and enjoy the game today, we're in the meat of the game, it worked. Today, we had a very engaged group of viewers who really liked the game. We were talking about the game constantly. We were also talking about other things, treating it more as like a chill session. And it went really, really well. It did. It went really, really well. And not only did we get a good chunk into the game, recruiting a whole bunch of team members to our ship, but also the support today was absolutely outstanding. Multiple people from different directions were contributing. We had tips, we had members, we had subs, we had everything today. It was very, very high support, and I very much appreciated it. So we hit 2 goals on the first stream, propelling ourselves from 36 to 38, and we even almost hit a 3rd goal. All right, so I was like, damn, we may be skyrocketing towards this pizza party event. Remember, we're doing a DSP tries of pizza, but we're also going to be playing Black Ops 6 Ninja Turtles mode to unlock the nunchucks and then eat the pizza, so it all kind of themed and ties together, all right? So, with that level of crazy support and momentum, I'm thinking, hey, we maybe can hit some goals on the late stream.
Anyway, I'll get into the whole late stream next, but yeah, apparently our boy Phil didn't realize that the Argentinian detractors are still in full effect. That's right. It looks like someone from Argentina came in and decided to drop a 50-member bomb, and it's funny that their name was Anonymous, which of course I don't know why Phil didn't see that was definitely a troll, but anyway, that's fine. And then the same person, I think, ended up dropping a tip or something. I'm not sure. No. I'm sorry. The person just dropped member bombs. They didn't drop a tip. So I guess Phil is counting Argentinian memberships going forward just to hit this pathetic arbitrary goal. Anyway, I digress. I really don't care what he does here. I just think it's hilarious that he has to stop everything he's doing just to conduct an audit, just to verify that his support is actually accurate, which is just funny as all hell. Yeah, Yakuza, boring as always. I don't think I caught 10 minutes of that gameplay. Once the podcast finished, Doody dipped out because it was like, yeah, no thank you, I'm good to go. Yakuza is probably one of the most boring things Phil plays, and it's not that the Yakuza is boring. Yakuza is okay. It's not my type of game, but I know a lot of people like them. But of course, Phil makes them horrendous. He just makes it unbearable to watch. So I can't tell you what happened during the Yakuza playthrough. I could just tell you that the support during the podcast was actually not the case. Now he's going to go on to talk about the night stream, and the night stream, of course, actually is the reality of Phil's real support. And he'll get into it and, of course, complain about his dents not supporting.
The late stream was Lost Records, and it was the conclusion of Lost Records Tape 1. I'm going to talk very in-depth about this tomorrow on the podcast, but FYI, that shit sucked. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It was not entertaining. It was not well-written. It was not fun. There was no big supernatural twist that made any sense or was interesting. It sucked. And so because of that, no lie, everyone in the chat was like, what the hell? Why is this so bad? And they were so turned off. I can't blame them. A lot of people left. Attendance was poor, and support was abysmal. All right? We ended up ending the gameplay around 9 p.m. and I stayed for another 40 minutes hanging out, and I did make some money then, but we didn't even hit $50 by the end of the night. Like, no one cared for this game. It was so bad we couldn't take it. It was driving everyone absolutely freaking nuts. Seriously. It's so bad, I'm debating even playing Tape 2 in April because I don't want to have streams where people say, I'm just going to skip because the game sucks. I'll come back when it's over. So we'll have to see what happens with that, all right? Now, in addition, there was some drama. So, a frequent chatter in the Kick chat, sadly, for some reason tonight, lost their mind, started saying insulting things about my wife. I banned them, rightfully. Can't do that. That's completely against the rules. The chat revolted. I said, I don't care how long you revolt. The guy broke the rules. If he apologizes to me and says he ain't going to do it again, then he can come back. We waited all night, and we got a whole bunch of imposters writing me emails. It was hard to tell if the guy had really written me or not. So at the end of the night, we unbanned him, and he wasn't there anymore. So just let it be known. All right, I understand that Kick is a tight-knit community, and I understand that these are people who are there every day and hang out for my streams. And on that Kick side of things, I could very much say it's become kind of a clubhouse, right? It's a good old boys club. It's the same regulars every day, and they like each other. But everyone has to abide by the rules. You can't just do something awful and expect, oh, because I'm a regular, I'm going to get away with it. You're not. Everyone is held to the same standard of behavior. Just because you're a regular doesn't mean you get to abuse others, including my wife. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully this person behaves themselves in the future. Now, one other really cool thing, okay?
All right, I'm going to stop you here because I got a lot to say about this. That's right. So apparently Phil got extremely upset because one of his dents or a Kick dent was in there insulting his wife. Of course, Phil says it was insulting. I don't think it was insulting. He was just making factual statements about his wife. I mean, right, Phil? What did you say the other day? It can't be offensive if it's a true statement, right, Phil? And this guy was apparently spouting out true statements. He was. And you got hurt. But the interesting thing, of course, is you and the Kick chat got into a massive fight because people were calling you out for your hypocrisy. Why can't a Kick viewer or whatever, right, a chatter, talk about your wife or whatever, right? They can't. You ban them on the site. You ban them no matter what, right? But PPP could do it, right? So I guess no one can insult SoulMaid unless you're PPP. You know, PPP can go on and call your wife fat. She can call your wife lazy. She can make fun of your wife not having a job. She can make fun of her fucked up haircut. He can call your wife a fucking horse, which he's done several times. All that is cool. It's perfectly fine because, of course, PPP is just razzing Phil and Cat, right? But the moment that someone else other than PPP does it, then Phil, turns into this aggressive macho man who has to defend his horse, right? Phil, this is why people insult you. This is why people come on and make fun of you. This is why people mock you, because you're a fucking hypocrite. You are. You know what I mean? Like you can't have this bold, stance when someone makes fun of your wife, right? And when other people do it, you're perfectly fine with it. And why? Because PPP is what? Your meal ticket? He's the reason why you're making whatever it is that you're making and that you've had a little bit of success in the last couple months. Is that what it is? Is that how much your wife is worth, Phil? Is your wife worth $20K? Because that's apparently how much you've made in the last couple months, ever since the whole Kino Casino arc started, right? So is that what you're saying? Wow, Phil, that's pretty cheap. $20K? That's a pretty low price for someone's SoulMaid, man. You need to check yourself, Phil, because you need to keep that same fucking energy. And of course, he sat there and he argued with the chat and he said, well, PPP apologized. No. PPP didn't fucking apologize. What PPP did was he doubled down and said, yes, I said it, right? And at the end, he said, look, I'm sorry if you got offended. That's not an apology. That's essentially putting it back on you and saying, hey, man, if you're too butthurt or you too much of a bitch that my joke bothered you, then I feel sorry for you. There's a big difference in saying, I'm sorry that I said that. I shouldn't have said it. I regret saying that. There's a big difference in saying that, right? Versus, I'm sorry that you're offended. So again, massive cope from Phil trying to justify his behavior. And he was wrong. Whenever he's completely in the wrong and everyone in chat goes after him, Phil relents. He does. And that's what he did here. He unbanned the guy finally because Kick Chat revolted. Kick Chat revolted because he is so beholden to his supporters. He's so worried that he's going to turn off his Kick's viewers, right? He's going to kick them off and then Dark Side Pimp, which is probably the only person out there supporting this dumbass. He's worried that he's going to stop supporting. because one day he's going to wake up and say, you know what, I'm tired of Phil's nonsense and stop supporting, right? And, he relented at the end like the punk bitch he is. Like, he'll sit there and criticize and, call Lexi a slut and an ethot and everything, but let some dude step up to him and call him out for his nonsense. Let's see how quickly he backs down, like the little punk ass he is. God. And if you missed what I was saying, I posted a video yesterday where during the unrecorded beg segment, he was trashing Lexi again, and he'll sit there and bitch and complain and say, oh no, I'm not talking about her. I don't have any beef against her. I'm not starting anything. And then questioning her sexuality. Ain't that some shit? A man that has zero sexuality, aka Phil. A man that's been married for what, 7-8 years, hasn't touched his wife yet, has zero physical contact with his spouse, is talking about someone's sexuality. The man that wrote the Incel Manifesto when he was 21 years old, where he hated all women, yeah, that's right. This man is going to talk about someone's sexuality. Phil, I'm sorry, nobody wants to hear you talk about sex or sexuality ever, bro. That's like listening to your grandpa talking about how he did your grandmom last night. That's the level of cringe whenever you talk about sex, Phil. So please stop it, okay? I mean, we're in agreement there. When your fans want you to be a pervert or whatever when you're playing games, I'm in an agreement with you there, Phil. You should never talk about sex or boobs or women in video games. You should just stick to, I don't know, talking about ham sandwiches, because that's probably the only meat you're ever getting, brother. So let's keep going.
Basically, I set up something a little different today that I think everyone really enjoyed. I'd like to show it for you very briefly here, and I'll show off more tomorrow on the podcast. So, while I was playing Like a Dragon, someone said to me near the end of the stream, your new face cam is good, but it's kind of annoying because you do have all those artifacts going on. Why don't you think about using your new close cam as your face cam? And I was like, wait, what? I thought about it for a second. I was like, I have a new close cam now that I'm going to use for Lego nights, right? Why don't I use that for face cam? And I thought about it. I was like, could I set it up? So I messed around with it a little bit, okay? And here's what I came up with. Are you ready? So this is the camera that used to be behind the TV that was creating all that artifacting because it was so far away. But now it's on a bendable arm that I had bought this months ago and just couldn't really find a use for it. But it's now really close to me. It's between the microphone and the boom arm that holds the microphone. So it's right here, maybe 2 feet away from my face, maybe 3 tops, but it's like 2 feet, right? As you can see, I am much clearer. No artifacting, right? Why? Because there's no zoom. This is just straight up right in here, and it's great detail. And when I turn on my key light now, it looks great. So we tested it, all right? And the test tonight, here's how it turned out to show you. Ready? Looks great. Now, I don't have the cover on my chair, so the chair is probably going to pop in and out of existence here. See, it is already on this side. But with the cover on, there is absolutely no artifact, like no issue. The background looks great. And yes, I look a little bigger, but the quality is improved dramatically. So now that I got this set up for the up-close angles, okay, this is like a no-brainer that this is going to be much better doing it this way, okay?
Oh my God. Yes, Phil, please do it that way. Please do it that way. Yes, that camera angle really, really accentuates your beauty. Oh my God, Phil, dude, you're 42 looking like you're 62, Phil. This isn't a good look for you, man. I mean, these camera angles really are for like attractive people. It's for like Lexi and MJ, not you, Phil. Not a 42-year-old gouty man with his snort stacks. No, man, just... Again, the tism is in full force here because, of course, he can't have any artifacting in the back. So he's doing everything he can. I mean, it's just like, it's like watching my daughter trying to line up things. Everybody knows my daughter has autism. And she gets a little bit of OCD with certain things being in certain ways. She kind of has I have to keep certain things in order. And I completely understand that. Phil reminds me of that type of person where everything has to be orderly. And not orderly, but you guys know what I'm saying. The tism and the OCD's in full effect here. And oh God, this Phil, please keep this. Pretty soon, you're just gonna see a floating head of Phil on the whole screen. That's gonna be the next camera angle because It's fine, Phil. No one cares that you can see your chair a little bit. This man literally bought a green condom for his chair because he thought that was going to help. My God, I'm done. I'm done. I think I went long enough here. I'm gonna start raging. I'll save it for the podcast to rage. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out.